say you're moving to Warrensburg, Missouri, or PCS'ing to Whiteman Air Force Base, and you buy a house, sight unseen, because sometimes you have to do that, and you realize when you get here that you bought in the wrong neighborhood. Should have watched my video. Today we're talking about the 5 best subdivisions in Warrensburg, Missouri. Eva Clark with Next Door Agents here, and if this is your first time to our channel, thank you. We talk about what it's like moving, living, eating, playing, everything in Warrensburg, Missouri. So make sure that you like and subscribe down below because we make a new video every single week and you should be notified so you can watch it. We get so many texts, emails, calls from people moving to Warrensburg or PCS'ing to Whiteman, and we love it. We love hearing from you guys. So check down below for our contact information. If you're moving to Warrensburg, if you're PCS'ing to Whiteman, get a hold of us. We would love to help you. Welcome back, guys. We are gonna jump right into it and talk about the 5 best subdivisions in Warrensburg. And I ranked these on drivability to Whiteman Air Force Base. We're gonna jump right in and talk about number 5, which is Hidden Pines and Deerfield Subdivisions. They're right next to each other, and they're basically attached to this really cool golf course and restaurant, Reflections on Pine. They're one of the only subdivisions in Warrensburg that has its own community pool. So it's very family friendly. There are lots of young professionals there. They have a golf pro. It's awesome. So if you're looking for something that you can go golfing easily on the weekends, I would definitely take a look at this subdivision. Now we're gonna move on to number 4, which is actually one of my personal favorites. It's the Historic District in Warrensburg, and it is chock full of Victorian style antebellum houses, and they are beautiful. They are also a little costly to get them to that point where they're beautiful. So if you want to take on one of these and renovate it, hats off to you. They have so much curb appeal, but they sometimes need updated electrical, updated plumbing, basically quite a few updates in order to get them compliant with a VA loan. Now, one really important thing to know is if you're looking for one of these Victorian style houses, you really need to have a good realtor who's willing to go door knocking for you, because most of the time they actually never go on the market. It's all just word of mouth and talking to owners. So if you're looking for an awesome fixer-upper, find a good realtor. Now this area is 12 miles from Whiteman, and just like the name implies, it is full of really cool old houses. Lots of old growth trees as well. Now this area is really walkable. It's a very short distance from bars, from restaurants, and you can bike all around it. And if you want to find a house that maybe you can gain some equity in, you can fix up, this is definitely the neighborhood for you. But watch out, because you can definitely end up with a money pit. You never know. So, Historic District, very cool. Either way, it's so fun to walk around here. I really enjoy it. This house is so cool. They put a lot of work into it, and it looks so great. Number 3 on our list is Cayhill. Now, if you remember, I talked about this subdivision in an earlier video. If you want full-size candy bars on Halloween, this is where you send your kids. So it is very close to Whiteman Air Force Base. It's actually called Base Housing West, like as a nickname. This subdivision has quite a few pilots and high-ranking officers, professors, large families. It's really a great neighborhood for kids. Houses run about $350,000 and up, and it's all new construction pretty much. So really gorgeous homes, very family friendly, but it definitely comes with that price tag. If you're thinking about buying a house in Cayhill, there's definitely something that you really need to know. It kind of shocks people. The HOA has really strict covenants. For example, you can't park your RV on the street or in your driveway for more than a very short amount of time. You can't have a tall privacy fence. Your fence has to be only 4 feet tall, and it can be a picket fence or a metal fence. So things like these definitely can shock people when moving in, so you need to be prepared for it. There is a good reason though, and that's people who are PCSing to Whiteman and buy a house in Cayhill maybe are PCSing out in 3 years, so they really need to maintain their property value. And with these HOA covenants, they definitely make sure that they maintain that value. So maybe you have some strict things you have to adhere to, but it's worth it in the end. Moving on to number 2, I'm a little bit biased about this subdivision because it's mine. This is a subdivision that my family lives in. It's called Spring Ridge, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. One thing very unique about this subdivision is there are lake lots. There's a couple different lakes in this subdivision, and there's springs, hence Spring Ridge. It's just beautiful. I know I said that, but I'll say it again. There's also really great old growth trees. It's very walkable. No cars come in this subdivision except for people that live here. So there's not a lot of through traffic. Actually, there's no through traffic because it doesn't go anywhere. But it's really great for walking your kids around in the mornings or in the afternoons because you don't have to worry as much about cars.
So we are in the Spring Ridge subdivision. And this is a very unique subdivision because there are lakefront lots. So there is a lake here in Spring Ridge, and it's also right next to Lions Lake, Pearl Springs, and a golf course. It's very cool. There are also so many old growth trees. It's just so beautiful and so walkable. As you can see, there's not a lot of traffic coming through here, and that's mainly because there's no reason to drive through Spring Ridge unless you live in Spring Ridge. So it's very quiet. It's very beautiful. I like it. I think Helix likes it too.
Another great thing about Spring Ridge is it's close to Pearl Springs Golf Course, and it's close to Pearl Springs and Lions Lake. So there's some really cool hiking trails right around here that can be really fun to do on an afternoon. The demographics in this area, there are quite a few older people in this neighborhood, but we are seeing quite a bit of turnover. So the older generation moving to Florida or moving into retirement homes. So we're seeing a lot of younger people, an influx of young professionals and their families coming into this neighborhood, which is nice because there's people that you can have your kids play with. Now, the price range in Spring Ridge, it kind of varies a little bit. If you're looking at a house that needs some cosmetic work, has great bones, might need some updates for light fixtures and appliances, you're looking at a starting price of around $200,000. We're actually about to list a house just like that. Beautiful house, definitely needs all new flooring, new light fixtures, new appliances, and it's gonna be low 200s. So basically, right around there and up is what you can expect to pay for a house in this neighborhood. A very specific example about how you can really gain equity in a house in Spring Ridge is my family, for example, bought our house for around $280,000. We updated the flooring, the paint, we fenced in the yard, we did quite a bit of cosmetic work, and we reappraised, 6 months later at $450,000. So it's very doable to find a very cool house with great architecture and great bones and just put a little bit of sweat equity and money into it, and you can get a really great return in this neighborhood. We are down to number 1, and that is the Eternity Village subdivision. Now, this subdivision, it is quite a bit of multi-family homes along with some single-family homes as well. You have all brick, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, duplexes that have very, very low maintenance and a really great return if you know how to house hack it, so to speak. What is house hacking, you ask me? Let me tell you about it. Basically, it's when you buy a duplex, you live in one side, and then you rent out the other side, and you don't have a mortgage payment, and that's awesome. We really actually love helping people buy multifamily properties like this because they have never really considered that you can basically live for free. You buy one of these amazing duplexes that don't really have a lot of upkeep, especially if you get a property manager to come in and manage your rental side, and then you live in the other side basically for free. It's awesome. So one kind of cool thing about Eternity Village, and not a lot of people know about this, not even local people, is that there's a brand new subdivision being built right next door called Winterset. and that's going to be 56 duplexes being built, probably done by 2022 around the summertime. Each of those duplexes are going to rent for $13.50 per side. So say you buy one, you live in one side, you rent out the other, you don't have a mortgage. It's really sets you up for long-term financial success, especially if you've never really bought a house before. So starting price for these are going to be around $300,000 and up. Definitely something to think about if you're moving to Warrensburg or PCS'ing to Whiteman. Well, that's it. That's all she wrote. That's all I got for you today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, there's a little button down there that you can subscribe, and you can like, and you can push the little alarm bell thingy, which lets you know every single time we make a video, because we make one every single week. And like I said at the beginning of this video, we get tons of phone calls, texts, and emails from people who are moving to Warrensburg or PCSing to Whiteman, and we love it. So if you have any questions, or you just want to reach out and find out maybe more knowledge about subdivisions or how to buy a duplex, give us a call. Information's down there too. We love hearing from you. Have a good one.